Hey, Jack Squad and YouTube family, how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well, and I hope you're making it happen for yourself. Got to make it happen for yourself, guys. Before I get started, I would like everyone to drop down in the description box and like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell so that you get notifications when I do, when I upload a video, because I will be uploading a lot of videos now. And also, what else? There's something else I want to say. Oh, so I had a live schedule Friday, but my guest, JoJo from Kokomo, not able to get here due to unforeseen circumstances. And the topic that I wanted to talk about was about finances through the pandemic. We'll discuss it when he gets here. Okay, I just don't know when that'll be. I don't know when that'll be, but we will go. I will go live with him when he gets here. I'm not going to go live. I started to go live, but I'm going to go instead. I'm going to go to Atlanta and meet up with some folk, and I'm trying to expand. Like I told you, I'm trying to expand my horizons. I'm trying to enlarge my YouTube channel. Speaking of that, all of my social media information is down in the description box. If it's something you want to discuss, if it's something you want to talk about, if it's something you need to know. And don't forget to drop by the Cash App office, right? Today, the topic I'm talking about today is something my subscribers, I had some friends call me, subscribers tell me, text me to talk about this subject. Now, I knew of it, but I hadn't really paid it that much attention because I agree the same way. But I dug a little deeper, and watched the videos and everything to see what was going on. So again, y'all, drop down in the description box. All my social media information is there. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I really like you guys' comments. I've told you that before, whether you're new or old. I like anything you have to say as long as it's respectful, okay? And I will be, whenever JoJo gets here, I'm going to do that live, because that live is something I want to talk about, and we can talk about it. He can give me his millennial perspective, okay? So today, let me get my subs before I go any further. Okay, so my subs are, let me get my spectacles, are 335 and Denise Smith. Denise Smith and 335. Okay? All right, and today, y'all, I'm talking about the bonnet situation, right? We're gonna call it the Bonnet Dilemma, right? Because I was raised, and I've taught my kids to do that. Even if I'm just going to the store, I'm gonna be put together, and I might not be maximum put together, but I'm gonna be put together. That's just how it is. That's just how it is, right? And I believe all women of my generation are like that, right? It's the younger generations that I think have lost that pride in themselves, right? So, Monique did a video concerning this situation about ladies with the pajama pants, the bonnets, the furry house shoes and all that. I like my furry house shoes too. And I go to the garbage, to the dumpster, but I thought about going somewhere else because they're so comfortable. I was like, no, I ain't gonna do that, right? And so she talked about that. And so, a couple of my subscribers, my girlfriends, said, well, you should talk about it. Well, let me tell you. I watched the video, and I totally agree with Monique. Let me just say this, and I've been talking about this for a while, and I'm going to continue to talk about it. Black love, self-love is very important. Self-love. And this is why, if you don't love yourself, and if you don't care enough about yourself and the way you look and how you present yourself to the world, that's a problem, right? Now, I'm not here to bash anybody, but I'm just, and the problem is, a lot of people don't like to take critique or criticism with love, that's given with love. They don't want it, right? Now, in my generation, the 50-plus group, we were told by elders, whether it was your neighbor, the lady at church, somebody at the store, we received it. We received it because it's only to better you, right? It's only to better you, right? And we are the only, that I know of, the only race of people who don't pass down traditions and don't allow elders, don't respect our elders enough to, when they're telling you something, take it and use it, right? And I'm going to tell you something. I grew up You know, it's going to be in my book and stuff. But I grew up in the streets. I grew up without no mother and father. It was people older than me that raised me. Now, could you imagine if I didn't listen to them? You know what I mean? So anyway, Monique said, you know, she said that she's tired of seeing that in the airports. Now, I don't pay any attention when I'm in the airport, but from now on I will. I haven't paid it any attention, right? But my daughter was telling me the same thing. She just took a trip, and she said the airport was full of them, right? I just really never paid attention. And I don't know if it's, and I hate to say this, but this is us, we family, if it's people that have never traveled before and don't know what a travel attire looks like. But besides the airport, we're going to take it away from the airport. Anytime you leave out your house as a woman, young lady, old lady, middle lady, whatever kind of lady you are, you should be presentable. You should be presentable when you go out the door, right? And what Monique was saying, and I understand, is that we, and I said this before in a previous video not too long ago, we are embarrassing ourselves to the people, the white people who already, you know, there are people who never encounter us. So all they see is what we present to the world, what they see on TV, social media, and so on and so forth, right? So even if nobody saw us, for yourself, you want to have that inner pride, right? Like I could never have anybody, listen, any of my friends, anybody that know me, I'm going to be put together when I go out the door. And you know, when I was younger, even now sometimes, if I go to the store, somebody be like, where you going? I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to the store. I'm going to the store. That's where I'm going. I'm going to the store. You got to put yourself together, and you don't have to be put together. You don't have to be particularly going anywhere in particular, I should say, to put yourself together. Like me, I like to look good for myself. I want to feel good. You know, I raised my kids with this mantra. I have 3 kids, my 2 youngest. I had them say this every day before they went to school. After they put their clothes on and was ready to go, and they would walk, you know, together, I would have them to say, I look good, I feel good, and I'm going to have a great day. They said that every day, right? Right now, my kids' self-esteem is through the roof, all 3 of them, right? Because when you put your clothes on and put yourself together, it gives you a different energy. You feel a little better. You know, it's just a whole different feel. And I'm all down with positive energy. You need that to move forward in life. I'm just saying. You know, because let's just say you got your pajamas on, your house shoes on, and your bonnet. You don't feel like doing nothing. You don't feel like doing shit. Like I don't. When I got that on, if I don't put that on and I'm set with that, I ain't going nowhere because I don't feel like putting myself together. I'm not just going to run out the house like that. I'm not. And so I understand what Monique was saying. But what she said was, when you see it, now this is where we differ. She said, when you see it, just tap them. She kept doing this, just tap them. I ain't touching nobody. I'm not telling nobody, walking up to no human and tell them what they should do. I'm not. Now, if you ask me, yes. I may look at you funny or something, but I'm not going to tell you anything because this generation does not understand constructive criticism. They don't. Then you're going to have to fight them. You're going to have to throw your hands. If you tap somebody, even if you just tap them, but if you tap them and tell them what to do, you're going to have to tear one of them hoes' heads off, right? So you can't do that. You can't do that. I agree wholeheartedly with what she's saying, right? And I believe, you know, like I said, Monique is in the same age range I'm in. You know, that's just how we were raised, right? That's what we were taught. Now, I saw another video by Tammy Roman. That's my girl, like her too. And I didn't know that her and Monique was as cool as they were. So people were tagging her, like, did you see what she said about the bonnets? It was no offense to Tammy. What she was saying, like, before bonnets came out, I would hate to see women with the comb in their hair or the scarf on their head. You all the way down at the bank, you down at the welfare building, you down somewhere where professional folks looking like that, right? I don't care if you go into the corner store, but Tammy says she agrees, but her perspective was let people be who they are. I don't totally agree with that. I think if given the opportunity, so you know when somebody's going to receive something 9 times out of 10, right? You know, like, you know, before I went home, I worked with a lot of younger women who respected me, right? They respected me. So if I said something, it was respected. Don't know if it was agreed upon, but it was respected, right? People have to respect you for you to tell them something, right? Not most of the time. But she was saying let people be. I don't believe in that. Let people be. People need to be taught. Things need to be handed down generation to generation. And us, black folks, we the only ones that just willy-nilly. People I think it must have stopped at my generation, or maybe the generation right up under me, that people just don't care. You can't tell them nothing. You damn sure can't tell the kids nothing. When I was growing up, everybody know the neighbor could tell you something. Depending on how cool the neighbor was, the neighbor might whoop your ass, right? You this person, that person, somebody in the church, and if they didn't say nothing to you, they sure enough told on you. You got checked for it. A lot of stuff didn't go unchecked. It didn't go unchecked, right? And so what I'm afraid of is, and I talk to these people all the time on the phone. This generation of people, you can't tell them nothing, and they don't want to know nothing, and they don't know nothing. See, that's the part. If you knew something, cool, but you don't know nothing, and you can't let nobody tell you nothing. That's the disparaging part. That's the disparaging part right there. So I don't believe in that. I ain't gonna tell nobody nothing, just let them be. You talk. I was taught, you never too old to learn. You learn every single day. Every single day. Yes, you grown, you're an adult, you this and you that. But you learn every single day. Every single day. Now, I got some notes. I done went off on a tangent because, that is something that like I said, anybody that know me know how I get down, right? And, I have some notes here that, like I just told you, I grew up at a time where we as black folks took pride in our appearance because it was our representative of our people and our culture. Image and representation still matters. It matters, y'all. And so especially when I see young ladies and they're cute, they got their hair tied, I see a lot. When I first started seeing the pajamas, I didn't understand, right? I just really didn't understand. You all at the Walmarts, and when I see fights now at Walmarts, I don't know what that's about. 9 times out of 10, they got on pajama pants. Like, you got to change this. You got to change this. If you put your clothes on, and you ain't got to have on the best, but when you put your clothes on, like I said before, when you look good, you feel good, and you do better. You do better. You do better, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing worse than seeing an old tacky ass motherfucker with some house shoes and the pajama pants, bonnet, old twisted up shirt, and they trying to ask you some questions. They can't get no understanding out of you. Can't get no understanding because you a mess in here, right? I talk to people all the time, y'all. I know y'all tired of hearing me say that, but I can just imagine what they look like by the conversation. Right? So visual is important. And you get more out of people when you are visually looking your best. That's just human nature, right? And like I said, when you put your clothes on and stand up and hold your head up, you got a different kind of walk, a different kind of twist, a different kind of ooze to you, right? When you sitting around with your pajamas on, you go outside with your pajamas, house shoes, your feet dragging. You're just dragging your feet because you got the slippers. You're slumped over. Your posture bad because you got an old t-shirt, old pajama pants you probably had on all day, slept in and all that. It changes your whole judge. Changes your whole judge when you put yourself together. And ladies, black women, I don't care what nobody say. I look at white women all the time. They say they could be pretty in the face. But our skin color is so magnificent, and we come in so many beautiful shades, right? And when I was growing up, it wasn't good to be dark. Your black ass and this and that and that. It wasn't good to be dark. But today, I believe that we appreciate the different hues that we come in, right? So, pretty comes in all forms, right? So, when I see young women who look good, right? But they just don't have themselves together, of course I want to say something. I have a daughter. My daughter, as y'all know, is Jazz with an S. She's fancied here when we doing the lives. She would never. I taught my kids, if you met my kids, they have the highest self-esteem of anybody I know. High self-esteem. My kids think they are the absolute shit. And they are, right? But as far as their clothes and their attire and how they put themselves together, especially my oldest boy, he got OCD. It's just not like that. And I taught my kids, when you come home, take them off. Take them off. Put them up. Hang them up. Take care of your stuff, right? take care of your stuff. You know what I'm saying? I could never be in the house and I'm fully dressed and I ain't doing shit. For what? Now, if I had a man or something, I was entertaining or something, but I'm just sitting in the house with myself, I got on my pajamas, I'm comfortable. But when I go out there, I'm put together, right? And I understand, like I said, I totally understand what Monique was saying. I totally understand. And it goes to some people don't have proper home training, right? People don't have home training, and it's sad, y'all. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? It's sad. And black women, again, we are the most disrespected of all cultures. So we must present ourselves well. If you want to get respect, you have to show that you respect yourself. You got to show that you respect yourself, right? Visual representation comes first. Regardless if you're educated or not, it's visual. Before you open your mouth. Listen, me, when I see folks, they can be way down there. Before they even come to me, I can already tell what they about, right? It's visual. Everything is visual, y'all. Everything is visual. Everything is visual. Now, we can't change people. People have to want to change for themselves. But we can at least educate them on the change. Educate them on the change, okay? As black women, we should be encouraging our young women to be a better version of themselves. And I get that's what Monique was saying, but the tapping and the talking, If I'm in a group or if I'm in a setting where it feels like it's okay, then I would speak. I would definitely speak on it. And yeah, that's right. I wrote this down. See, I wrote so many notes as I was watching this that it was overflowing, right? I was in a real, like I told y'all, I'm pro-black. So my next topic, I'm going to talk about the 1921, the massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma, right? But I was so in a black mode, right? A black mood, I should say. I love us. I think we are the most creative, wonderfully built people on the planet, right? But we don't know that. We have to know that, right? Why do you think these folks don't want us to get ahead? They don't want us to do this. If we use our mind the way it was supposed to be, we are the greatest. I absolutely believe 100% we are the greatest. Athletically, educationally. What the problem is, we're held down. We're held down. We've never been able to get ahead. And I'll talk about that in my next video. But it's all how you represent yourselves, right? And you really can't want more for somebody than they want for themselves. You can't. We could try, but in essence, if they don't want it for themselves, ain't nothing we can do. Now, I do believe in the community way of teaching, right? Instead of turning a blind eye. Like, that's what Tammy was saying, like, we just don't pay no attention. That's turning a blind eye. I really don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I just don't agree with that. And then sometimes people just don't know no better. Young ladies don't know no better. So we need to encourage them to be their best part of themselves, right? It's just about how you treat you is how the other folk gonna treat you. How you treat you is how people will treat you, right? Yeah, that's what it is. And somebody questioned me and said, at what point does the village elders get a chance to step in and impart wisdom on how to carry yourself? Which is what I was saying. Like, we as elders are supposed to do that, but you can't talk to these people now. You can't talk to this generation because they're going to want to fight. They're going to want to fight. You have to knock somebody's whole teeth out just to try to tell them something. It becomes too much. So I understand what Tammy was saying, like, I'm not going to, let people be. But it is, I think, it's a burden that we have to carry and we have to bear. If we think on our ancestral history, the leaders would sit together and talk, and then, they would impart their wisdom on us. When I grew up, I looked up to my aunts and uncles, older cousins, still do now, the ones that are alive. My aunts and uncles except for a few aunts, are still alive. But I look up to what they're saying. Right now, I got cousins that's 10, 12 years older than me. I listen to them. Always have. Always have. That's just life. That's the circle of life, right? These people now don't want you to tell them nothing. They don't do nothing. And that's so discouraging, right? Yeah. And so, represent yourself correctly, because people are looking at us, right? The white folks know we smarter, better, greater. They know that. Like I said, we don't know that, right? And that's the reason for the hate. The hate will probably always continue. But that's the reason for the jealousy, because we're better. But we got to do better. We got to do better. We have to do better, y'all. Like I said, I saw that, what Monique had said. Now, I just said, okay, I believe, I'm down with her. Didn't watch the video. But after I got so many requests about it, I said, well, let me read it and let me watch it in its entirety so I can get a full understanding of what she said. And I totally agree with what she said. It's just, except for the tapping. I ain't going to tap nobody in the airport or nowhere else and tell them, hey, you look funny. Oh, my God. Do you know what happened? But I get her sentiment, and I get why she said that. It's just that that's something I wouldn't do. But if I'm in around now, let's say I'm with my nieces and nephews or some young ladies that I know, and they come in looking all tacky, then I'm gonna say something. But strangers, no. But if it's somebody I know, oh yeah, I'm gonna check them. So anyway, y'all, I just thought I'd talk on that subject. Because it was requested of me, and it's important. It's important that we teach ourselves how to be, and we teach the people behind us, or under us, I should say, how to be. That's just very important. It's very important, guys. Like, I don't understand the pushback on it. And this is the reason why we're the most disrespected and unprotected, because we walk around like we don't care about ourselves, right? And you have to show. I'm a firm believer in showing people how to treat you. Firm believer in that, right? I'm a firm believer in that. Showing people how to treat you. So like I said, guys, we got to do better. And if it's somebody that you know, and you're in their presence, I will say this. This is what Jacquie gonna say. Now, y'all heard what Monique said. Y'all heard what Tammy said. I'm gonna go in the middle with it. Always put yourself together before you go out the door. Always. You ain't got to be like you're going to the party or the shindig, but you're going out the door to the world. Put yourself together as you want the world to see you. Okay? So if you want the world to see you as a raggedy ass hood rat, then by all means, go on out there like that. But if you want to be represented and treated as a queen that you are, then put yourself together. And I'm not with the tapping, and I'm not with the ignoring. I'm going to meet y'all right in the middle. I say, if you're around some people that you know, some youngins that you know, you in close encounter with them, you know them, you in a situation, whether it's at church, at a party, at somebody's house, you in a situation, then I say impart some wisdom to them. Gently and respectfully. You got to do it respectfully, or they're not going to hear you. They're not going to receive it, right? So again, y'all, my subs for today are 335 and Denise Smith. And let me say this, y'all. It is my anniversary. Month. I'm trying to build my channel. And it costs money, y'all. And, I need to get different things. I need to be able to move how I need to move. And all I'm saying is I would appreciate support. If you want to support, fine. If you don't, that's fine. But I would appreciate the support. I would appreciate the support. I got some things in the works. I don't want to talk about it too here. Because, see, now, my guest, I asked him 5, 6, 7 times. You sure? We gonna go like, yeah. Well, they had a lot on their plate. And I knew they had a lot on their plate, right? And it's not like they didn't want to do it, but they're in a whole different state. So whenever they get here, I'm going to save that topic about finances through a pandemic. Because we still in the pandemic. Even though y'all ain't wearing no mask and all that dumb shit, we still in the pandemic. Okay? Corona ain't went nowhere. It's right there. Right? So we're going to talk about that, right? Because that's also a very important subject, your finances, right? And this is a great time right now to get yourself together, right? So anyway, y'all, like I said, drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to do new things. I'm trying to do better things. So I would appreciate the support from you guys. Comments and support, like and support, sharing and support, and of course, cash donations and support as well, okay? So anyway, thank you for watching Jacquie with a Q, where the Q stands for Queen, the Q stands for Question, and the Q stands for Quality of Life, which is what I was talking about today. Now, my next video, I'm going to be talking about which I didn't know I had heard of. See, he didn't teach us this kind of stuff. I'm going to be talking about the massacre in Tulsa in 1921. Okay? Very important. That's our history. That's our history, y'all. It might sound boring, but that's our history. Check it out. Bye-bye. I don't know why.